Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Prison inmate reveals how Julie Chrisley treated others behind bars. Julie and Todd Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best fame recently saw their time behind bars get cut short after being pardoned by President Donald Trump. Since then, there have been quite a few headlines concerning their time in prison, as well as what will happen to them now. Recently, one woman who claimed to be in the same federal prison as Julie has opened up about what the star was like during this time. Julie Chrisley was originally set to serve a 7-year sentence in Lexington before being pardoned. Chrisley Knows Best stars Todd and Julie were convicted back in 2022 over charges including bank fraud and tax evasion. Julie initially reported to the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, where she was set to spend a 7-year sentence. For his part, Todd was set to spend a sentence of 12 years at the federal prison camp in Pensacola. However, Todd and Julie would get a reprieve from their sentence in 2025 after receiving a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, on social media, a woman claiming to be one of Julie's fellow inmates opened up about the Chrisley Knows Best star's time behind bars. The woman, identified as Brooke, or Taser, claimed, "I just got out of the federal prison camp in Lexington, Kentucky. Let's do a get ready with me." The TikTok video touched on how Julie was with the other inmates. Brooke then explained, "The camp was all open, so I did talk to Julie multiple times, and I honestly have no complaint. She was really, really nice actually." Brooke also confirmed that Julie had to work during her time in prison. As she shared, everybody in the camp who was able to work was required to work until Julie Chrisley did have a job, and she worked in commissary. Brooke also explained how Julie was like with her fellow inmates. Opening up, she shared, "I'm never the type to stick up for people based on their status. This included their political status, their social status, their celebrity status, whatever the case may be." Some fans familiar with the prison also shared similar stories in the comments. Speaking positively of the star, Brooke continued, "But I've definitely seen her go out of her way multiple times to help somebody." She especially highlighted Julie helping people in commissary that just got there understand how it works, etc. She was really, really sweet. During her parents' time behind bars, Savannah Chrisley also openly spoke out against prison conditions. Brooke also ended the video by sharing similar sentiments. As she noted, "It is true that the living conditions of the camp were really, really bad. There was no AC there, even on the hottest days. There's asbestos in the ceiling. There's lead paint." Taking to the comments, fans also shared their thoughts on the story. A few also claimed to be familiar with the camp and weighed in on the share. Some comments included, "In a place where the clang of iron doors echoes louder than hope and time ticks slower than regret, Julie Chrisley, once the beloved matriarch of reality TV's Chrisley Knows Best, has carved out a surprising new chapter behind the walls of Federal Medical Center, FMC, Lexington. Most people knew her for her pearls, pressed blouses, and ever-gracious Southern hospitality. But behind bars, stripped of cameras and designer comfort, who really is Julie Chrisley?" One inmate, who recently completed her sentence and spoke under the pseudonym Dana, shared a side of Julie the world has never seen. And it wasn't full of scandal, tantrums, or fallen diva moments. In fact, according to Dana, Julie brought something rare into prison: quiet dignity. "She came in quiet, but she didn't walk in like she was better than the rest of us," Dana said. "I mean, sure, we all knew who she was. Julie Chrisley, the TV star. But she didn't carry herself like she expected us to roll out a red carpet. If anything, she was the one holding the door open for others." Dana recalled the first few weeks of Julie's sentence as an emotional time. The adjustment from suburban mansions to steel bunks and strict routines wasn't easy. "She cried some nights," Dana admitted. "I think she missed her family terribly, especially her mom and her kids. But she never let it make her bitter. That's the thing. Some women in here turn cold. Julie didn't. What surprised many was Julie's willingness to get involved in day-to-day life at the facility, not as a celebrity, but as a fellow inmate. She worked in the kitchen early on, Donna said. She'd wake up before dawn, slip on a hairnet, and get to scrambling eggs and scrubbing pans. It wasn't just the work ethic that made her stand out. She remembered people's birthdays, Donna added. She would make little cards out of scraps of paper and string. It wasn't much, but it mattered. There's so little kindness in here sometimes, so even the smallest gesture feels like gold. Julie also became something of a spiritual anchor. Though she never preached or pushed her beliefs on anyone, she often read devotionals in the corner during downtime. A few girls started sitting with her, just listening, Donna shared. It wasn't church, but it was peaceful. She'd read a line, and we'd talk about it. I swear, it helped more than counseling some days. Still, not everyone warmed to her immediately. There were definitely some skeptics, Donna said. A couple of women thought she was putting on a show, like it was all an act. But over time, even they came around. Julie never talked down to anyone. And if someone tried to start drama, she just walked away. She refused to feed into the negativity. In the prison laundry room, Julie reportedly became something of a confidant. Women would pour their hearts out while folding sheets or sorting towels, Donna remembered. Julie just listened. Sometimes she'd give advice, but most of the time, she just gave people her attention. She made you feel like what you were saying mattered, even if the world had stopped caring. Despite her reserved demeanor, Julie had moments of levity too. Once, on Thanksgiving, she helped organize a little potluck with whatever we could scrape together, Donna said, smiling. She got crafty, turned a cereal box into a centerpiece, and made everyone write one thing they were grateful for. Sounds silly, but it made the day feel a little less like prison. Over time, even the staff began to respect her presence. She never demanded special treatment, Donna said. If anything, she was overly cautious not to offend or overstep. It was like she wanted to prove she could do her time just like the rest of us. Julie's bond with older inmates, especially those without family support, was especially strong. She'd sit with them during meal times, help them carry trays. There's one lady, Miss Rhonda, who hardly ever smiled. Julie found out she used to paint before she got locked up. Next thing we knew, Julie got her back into it using food dye and scraps of newspaper. That's who Julie is. But even behind her quiet strength, the pain of separation never left her. She'd get really quiet after visits, Donna recalled. Especially if she saw her daughter Savannah or Todd's mother. She missed them more than she let on. But she never let that grief turn her cruel. Now, with whispers of appeals and early release reviews surfacing, Donna believes Julie's impact at FMC Lexington won't be forgotten. Some women come and go, and you barely notice. But Julie? She made this place softer somehow, less harsh. Not because she was famous, but because she cared. And in here, that's rarer than gold. When asked if Julie ever spoke about her guilt or innocence, Donna paused. She never ranted about the case or blamed the world, she said. She focused on making the most of the time she had. I think she figured God would sort it all out. In a place built to strip people of identity and reduce them to numbers, Julie Chrisley has quietly rewritten her story, not with a spotlight, but with compassion. And though the world may continue to debate her past, within the quiet corners of FMC Lexington, her kindness has already become part of the prison's folklore. She could have come in here a diva, Donna said, but instead she came in a human being, and left a better one. If there's any truth to the saying that character is who you are when no one's watching, then behind those bars, beyond the cameras and the courtrooms, Julie Chrisley may have shown the truest version of herself yet.